Old school candy paint down. Bad chicks, they from down south. Hey, what you want? Yeah.
What's up? It's your boy BQ. What's going on, guys? Just wanted to do a little quick live and talk about the last video that came out. If you guys haven't watched the last video, it's about getting cheated on, and the experience and what I went through and how I felt and stuff. And just wanted to, I guess, give a little context and stuff in that relationship. Although, if you guys, like I said, if you guys haven't watched that video, definitely watch it. Look at my bio. The link should be there. My link tree should be the first video there to make sure you guys get it. You don't have to go through a bunch of links and everything. But yeah, there's a lot that went on in that relationship, and like, I don't know, like, with me, I don't really regret going through that. Like, everything you go through in life is a lesson, and it kind of improves you and lets you, it helps you in the next situation that you're in. And damn, I got the sun freaking just beaming down in my eye. I could barely freaking see anything. But yeah. Hey, what's up, son? Yeah, it prepares you for each and every situation, because I felt like I needed to go through that. And not to say like when I was in that relationship, like she was just a terrible person and she was just like this demon, because usually I think in like relationships and stuff, you can easily demonize the other person, and it's usually not, it doesn't go that way. If she didn't have any redeemable qualities about her, I wouldn't have been with her. And just as I've said in the video, I had low self-esteem, so it was just like I felt like I couldn't do better, which was fucking crazy, because just going out of that relationship and just seeing things and taking a step back, it gave me a realization that like there's so many other people out there, and you don't have to stay and be so focused on one person. So yeah, it was just a lot that went on in that relationship, but at the end of the day, I put the fault on me, because that was the person that I was with. That was the person that I chose. So no matter what things I went through, I have to still point the finger to myself, because I chose that person, and also I stayed with that person. And yeah, it's just like there's every relationship that I've been in, and it broke off for whatever reason, I've learned something from it. I've learned something from it. But yeah, that relationship, I went through a lot of shit, man. I went through a lot of shit that I shouldn't have gone through. And it's just like, every time I look back at that like situation, I'm just like, why the fuck did I go through that? Like, why the fuck did I do that? And yeah, but I felt stupid, and even to this day, I feel stupid, like just looking back at it. Like, there's no way of thinking about it any other way. And when a person shows you who they are, you gotta believe them. You gotta fucking believe them, because it's not, don't stay around like, oh, they could change or this and that. They're the motherfucker they showed you they are. Just believe that shit, because it's like, me now, if I was put back in that situation, I would not have dated this girl. I would not have. Like, and even if I did, I wouldn't have been in there so long. And just make sure you make sure you're there mentally too. So mentally, I wasn't there. One thing I regret in that relationship, I kind of lost myself, because it was like I was so passionate about doing things like writing and stuff, and because I was so focused on that person, that I just let go of everything and focused on her. When you focus on people can let you down, but when you focus on yourself and the things that you are doing, you could only let yourself down. And I'd rather let myself down than, let anybody else let me down. So, yeah, I was simping hard in that relationship. I was. Now that I think about it, I was simping hard in that relationship. Like, if I tell you guys the stories that went on in that relationship, you would look at me like, what the fuck is wrong with you, biquon? And yeah, there's so much stuff that went on in that relationship. It was fucking embarrassing, honestly. Like, it was fucking embarrassing. Like, it's hard to say that like, I can say that I don't hate this girl, but then I wouldn't be honest. A part of me doesn't hate her, and a part of me does. But most of that hate is pointed towards myself, because I allowed that shit. And whatever you with if you allow somebody to do things to you, they'll do it. People will do what you allow them to do. And I allowed her to get away with so much shit, yo. And the reason why I'm telling you guys about this and stuff is because, like, the reason why I tell you guys about any embarrassing stories about myself is because I don't want you guys to go through, like, any situations I did. Hopefully, there's some things that you do have to go through and learn on your own. I could tell you guys a million stories and you still wouldn't understand until you went through it on your own. But yeah, I try to help you guys avoid situations, or if you're in situations like that, you feel bad, you feel like there's nobody you could talk to or anything, like, just know I went through it, man. In fact, I'll tell you guys another embarrassing thing in that relationship that I allowed, which I was stupid, The person, I found out, and this was really fucked up on her part. This is why I still have that sort of, I guess, resentment towards her, I guess. I remember we went out one day, and she said it was her cousin's birthday. It was really fucked up, too. I always look, every time I think back at that, it makes me angry. And it was so long ago. It was so long ago, but it still kind of affects me emotionally and stuff. And I'm sure, like, a lot of you guys, you're people that you were emotionally attached to, those things still affect you in a certain way throughout life. And it affected me. It still affects me today, not in such a negative way. Today is more of a lesson, but it's like, like, when I look back at it, it makes me fucking angry that I even, like, I think back, how did I stay with this girl? And I remember she said it was her cousin's birthday, whatever. And it's like an embarrassing thing, because there's a lot of embarrassing things in that relationship that I just keep to myself, and I would never go through some shit like that with any female after that. Anybody. It's just having integrity in yourself. Having integrity. But just to get with the story, because I keep rambling on and going off topic. I went out with her to go shopping because it was her cousin's birthday and she didn't have any money to get her cousin something. So she wanted to buy her cousin some clothes or something like that. So we went out. We was looking for her cousin's clothes, looking for the sizes and everything. I bought the clothes so that she could give it to her cousin. Later I find out that the clothes that we bought weren't for her cousin. It was for the guy that she cheated on me with, basically. And how disrespectful you gotta be to do some shit like that, So, like, I just think back to shit like that, I think back to shit like that, and it pisses me the fuck off, because more so, I allowed it. I fucking allowed it. And I didn't know this until, months after, and I found out, and it's just like, yo, some people are really fucked up in this world. And, when you get fucked over like that, it changes certain people. Some people go in different type of directions. Some people go on the resentful revenge type of thing, where it's like, fuck bitches, I'm not fucking with no female out here, I can't trust female. I didn't go down that path, because it was just like, I can't blame one moment or one female on all of the females, all the women that are out here, because all the women aren't like that. She was just a fucked up individual in that sense. And like I said, like, it's not like trying to vilify her or anything. She did good things, but there was a lot more fucked up shit that kind of makes me forget about any good things she did do, and there's a lot of people that are hurt out there, and they're going on their little, they don't trust, it could be women that don't trust men because they had fucked up boyfriends in the past, and then there are guys that don't trust women and they do fucked up shit too, and it's just like a cycle. It's just kind of like a cycle. The saying, like, hurt people hurt people. I didn't want to participate in that cycle, so I'm like, the next person, I'm gonna make sure I'm in the right mindset to get into a relationship, because I don't want to get with another person and put that type of baggage from my past relationships onto them. So I haven't been single for a long time. Like, this is probably the longest I've been single, because usually when I have messed around and stuff with girls, it was probably for a few months. It's probably for a few months. I don't think I've gone like a full year just being single. And that's why I haven't been with, like, all the times I've been with other women, it was in between those few months period. And yeah, just being single and seeing certain things, it can change some people's perspective on relationships. It can make you not trust anyone. It can make you do a whole bunch of shit. I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with this conversation, but yeah, that relationship, it still sticks. Those past relationships and past experiences kind of mold you into the type of person you are. And yeah, that situation kind of molded me into the person I am. And it's just like, you have to have a certain morality. You have to, I can't think of doing like fucked up shit to people, like, not purposely, because I'm not a perfect person. I'm not a perfect person at all. I'm sure if we lined up all the women that I've messed around with or dated, I'm pretty sure all of them wouldn't paint me in a good light. Not at all. Pretty sure there are some of them that wouldn't say that I was the best person or this and that. I fucked up along the way, and that's what I'm sharing with you guys. Places where I fucked up, and yeah, in that relationship, I fucked up with myself because I let go of my passion. And when you let go of your passion, let go of yourself, you can't, especially as a man, you can't get with another person. When you get in a relationship, you're supposed to make sure you're good yourself. And I wasn't good myself. I wasn't. So, yeah, that was just one that was just one of those fucked up moments. And then just going back in the relationship and looking at certain scenarios, it's just like, why did I go through that and let myself go through that? And when I broke up with her, whatever, it took a lot for me to break up with this girl. It took a lot for me to break up with this girl, when I should have broke up with her a long time ago. As I said, I'm a better person because of any experiences I've gone through. But yeah, when I broke up with her, I remember specifically that day. The last time she lived in Connecticut, just for preference. It's not that far. It was like a 3-hour trip, from what I remember. 3-hour trip, sometimes like an hour and a half, depending on how it was. But yeah, it was a long trip. So I would always go up there, and every time I went up there for, I think, the last year in that relationship, I always regretted it. Because it would be some type of bullshit that would go on. We wouldn't talk to each other. She was very distant with me, and it was just like, I didn't feel like this was my girlfriend. And from the moment, like, it changed from when, you know, she would come and see me, and then she would leave, and she would cry because she'd have to leave me and stuff, to this. People change. And gradually, looking from the beginning, me as a person, I allowed her to get to that stage because I didn't set boundaries. I didn't have certain, like, things set in place. And that's the thing, when I get into new relationships, I make sure I set my standard. This is what I want. This is how it's going to be. And it's not, you know, of course you have to compromise on certain things, but there's certain things I'm not compromising on. Absolutely not. And when the last time I saw her, and just time after time, I would forgive this girl. I'll forgive this girl for certain stuff. We were sitting, we went to a hotel. So this is what happened. We went to a hotel. I'm gonna try to make this story short. We went to a hotel and spent the night, and she was just very distant and stuff. I was just like, yo, this was just fucked up. And this was around when my aunt had passed away, so I wasn't feeling I was really down. So I thought, like, going to see her, I would feel better. And that's the other thing, you can't put your happiness on another person. That's a mistake I made. I put my happiness directly centered on her. And yeah, she was just kind of being a bitch. Like, there's no other, like, situation for it. And I remember she went to sleep, and I was drinking, and I sat down on the bedside with her, and I just cried that night. Yeah, you're probably like, you gotta be a little bitch. Yes, men cry. I cried that night because I was just feeling so low. I felt so low. And that next morning, I didn't talk to her or anything because I was so pissed off at her. And this is the time when she's driving me to the train station and stuff. We're sitting down, and I say a word to her. She's on her phone. She's on the app, Meet Me. She was literally right there next to me on Meet Me. This girl was disrespectful as hell. And I looked at her, I was like, are you serious? You're really gonna be on a dating app right in front of me? You know? And she blew up on me. Like, I'm not on a dating app, I'm just meeting friends and stuff like that. And all the shit just bottled up, and I snapped, and I just started kicking the dashboard of the car and stuff, and I was just like, I fucking lost it. And she told me get out or whatever, and I got out of the car. I called me an Uber to the train station, and that train ride home was so depressing. I was like, I can't believe I came back here. I always would come back there, and I would tell her, like, I don't feel like coming there, but she would always be like, I need you, and stuff like that. And, I always fell for it every time. And yeah, I told her I wasn't I'm never coming back to see you again. Like, that was the last straw. And I remember she called me a few days later. She was like, can you come see me? She was crying and stuff. I really need to see you and stuff, and I'm sorry and all this. And I told her, like, this is when I really, like, grabbed my balls. Because I was a pushover in that relationship. Yeah, I was so nice. I was very nice. It was very nice. And I think in that relationship, that's what was taken from me. I guess my innocence. I will never be that nice to a person ever again. And it was just like, I told her, no, I'm not coming down there. I regret it every time. For the past year, I've regretted coming down there every single time. And looking back at it, I know she was just cheating on me. She was still cheating on me. Besides that one time that happened before, I know she cheated on me more than once. I'm not stupid. And yeah, it was just like, I was like, I'm not coming down here, but here's my nice person. Here's me being a nice person. I'm like, I'm not coming down there, but here, I'll send you some money to go get a hotel, whatever, because she didn't like staying home. She didn't like staying home or whatever. So you go to a hotel so you don't have to sleep in her car. She'd rather sleep in her car than be home. And I found out a few days later, whatever, that she goes and sleeps with this other guy. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? So you're just gonna go and sleep with another person? She's like, yeah, because I straight up asked her. I'm like, yo, did you sleep with someone else? She's like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, yo, why would you do that? And she was like, oh, you wasn't there when I needed you, or some bullshit. And I was like, what the fuck? I regretted coming there every single time. I wasn't gonna come there that time, but I still sent you money so you could go get a hotel. I still did that for you. And she still just fucked up and fucked me over after I did that. I did so much for that girl. I did so much for her. I always, be there for her when she needed me. I would always go up there, make sure she was good, give her money, I helped her get her first car, too, so she could come down and drive and see me. And it was so much that was going on. It was just like, why did it have to get to that point for me to leave this girl? Well, it was just because I had low self-esteem, like I said. It took all of that, and she just took advantage of it. And like I said, I share these stories just so you guys can show that if you've been through it, shit, if you think you were stupid, I was more stupid than you guys. I was fucking stupid. And ever since that day, that was the nail in the coffin when I was done. That is when I was really done. There's just so many things, I remember when she cheated, she was like, oh, if you want, you can cheat back and sleep with somebody else. And I told her, like, nah, I don't want to do that, because it's just like, I don't feel like it's gonna change anything. And she kept telling me, like, oh, you should do it, but it wasn't for me. It was just to make herself feel better. And I actually did do it. I did sleep with somebody else because she told me to sleep with. She said you should sleep with somebody else, so I did. Whatever. Didn't make anything feel better. I still felt the same way. It was only to justify her actions. It wasn't about me or anything. that just goes to show you that's just some of the toxic shit that was in that relationship. And there's another situation where she wanted to take a break. If a girl tells you let's take a break, leave that girl, yo, for real. I didn't believe in breaks in that thing, but I'll let go of all my morals and stuff. Like, I didn't believe in breaks, but I'm like, you know what? If this is what makes this relationship work, I'll do it. I'm gonna do it. And she was like, oh, let's just take a break. And you guys tell me. She said this. She said, yo, let's take a break, I'm gonna do me and you should do you. I'm like, what do you mean by that? It's like, oh, if we end up talking or something with anybody, just, if you're gonna do you, just do you and I'll do me. So, preferences. Let me translate what a break means in girl language. A break is, I still want to be with you, but I want to explore other options. I want to fuck other people. That's what a break is. In my head, that's what a break is. I don't care what nobody fucking says. A break is, I want to go out and fuck other people. That's why I don't believe in breaks. Either we're together or we are not. I would not do a fucking break. Nope. But that was the only time I ever did a break. So, we were on a break, whatever. So, remind you, her lines was, I'ma do me, you do you. So I'm like, alright, you know what? Whatever. So I ended up having sex with this other girl, whatever. And I told her, whatever, when we got back together and everything, I told her. And she was like, oh, did you sleep with anybody? And I was like, yeah, I slept with one person. And she was like, really? She was pissed off about it. And I'm like, really? You slept with somebody? And I was like, yeah. I was like, why would you do that and stuff? I was like, you said you wanted to break and to do you. So that's what I thought. I did me. And, yeah, she was pissed off about that. And she was like, oh, I didn't fuck anybody or anything like that. I was like, well, why would you want to break? I told you I didn't want to break. And then you say, do you? Was I wrong for that? Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong. But she said, do you? Yeah. So, there was a lot of stuff that went on in that relationship. And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just on here just talking with you guys. Just giving you guys a little bit of context to that situation. I didn't like... There's a lot that went on in that relationship. That was a 4-year relationship. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. If you've made it that far through this little ramble of thing, talking about that relationship, as much as I do have that hate in my heart, there's still a part of me that wishes the best for her too. I don't think people are just evil. There's intent and there's reasons for certain things, and I think that if I had more integrity in that situation, I would have handled that situation a lot better. I would have left that person, first of all, first things first. But yeah, that was the dumbest I ever was. That was the dumbest I ever was. So, yeah, just be careful out here with people. When people show you who they are, believe them the first time. Don't take any of their bullshit. So, thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next video, next live, or on my little, on my little talk and ramble. I'll probably do a bit more of these. Maybe just talk about experiences and stuff, and also you guys can join me on the lives and put your little input on it and stuff. But yeah, see you guys in the next video.
The pieces and patches I gotta be, cause the edges are jagged. I do not call my piece lessons with real beef, they be squeezing them ratchets. You not the same person that you on internet, I've been smelling some catfish. Don't condone violence cause we move in silence, you know that they got it like Metal Gear Solid. Pick up the pieces and patches I gotta be, cause the edges are jagged. I do not call my piece lessons with real beef, they be squeezing them ratchets. You not the same person that you on internet, I've been smelling some catfish. Don't violence, cause we move in silence. You know that they got it like Metal Gear Solid.